Hey, what is happening, everyone? It is I, the man, the myth, the mustache, Tim here, and I've got a brand new video for you. Welcome to part 6 of What If Deku Had 100% OFA Remastered. I wanted to stop by and say hello, hi, sit back and relax because you are in for a treat. With that little intro out of the way, let's get this story going, shall we? At Tartarus Prison, the well-dressed man identified as All For One activated his strength-enhancing quirk and punched the prison, creating a huge hole in the wall. All For One and Kurogiri walk into the prison, where they make their way towards the control room. Once there, they kill the guards and deactivate all the security measures Tartarus had. All For One then told Kurogiri to make a portal towards the cells and to release the inmates and afterwards to meet him at the entrance of the prison. All For One then appeared in the middle of the prison, and all the cell doors opened, releasing every inmate. All For One proudly presented himself to everybody in the prison as their savior. Soon, Shigaraki appeared and quickly made his way over to All For One's side. He was surprised and said, "Sensei, you came." At this point at UA, All Might got a phone call from Tsukauchi. All Might picked up the phone and said, "Hello, old friend. How are things?" Tsukauchi yelled at All Might over the phone. "There's no time for pleasantries, All Might. There's been an attack at Tartarus. We need you." All Might quickly left UA, and within 5 minutes, he found himself at the bridge leading to Tartarus Prison. He coordinated with the police that found themselves at the bridge. They all formed a defensive perimeter so as to not let any villain reach the city. While All Might coordinated with the police, the villains moved from the entrance of the prison towards the blockade. The villains reached the middle of the bridge and saw All Might and a couple other heroes along with the police. The other heroes weren't all that important, since the more important heroes were busy in Hosu. The villains spotted the heroes and police and began to freak out. All For One then turned to Shigaraki and touched him on the shoulder, passing the quirk of All For One to him. All For One then said,
"That power is the biggest one in the world. Don't you dare waste it. Master that power, Tamura, and you will make me proud. I have prepared a path for you, Tamura Shigaraki."
All For One then turned his attention towards Kurogiri.
"Make sure he reaches his full potential."
After, All For One turned towards the crowd of villains behind him. He said,
"This is Tamura Shigaraki. He is my successor. And, as Master of the Shadows and the one who has just freed you all from imprisonment, you will follow him in exchange for your freedoms."
At this, all the villains accepted the deal. All For One once again turned to Kurogiri.
"Take them away, to a safe place. The hideout isn't safe. I will keep All Might busy."
Kurogiri then opened a huge portal through which all the villains escaped. All For One just walked towards the barricade. Once he was close enough, All For One used his strength-enhancing quirk on an air cannon quirk, which blew most of the police away, all except for All Might. After the initial attack, All Might prepared himself and attacked All For One with a Detroit Smash, but the attack was met by a giant hand from All For One.
"How are you alive, All For One?"
All For One responded.
"After our previous encounter, I was severely damaged, but thanks to some help and a regen quirk I acquired, I managed to survive. And I seem in better condition than you, All Might."
All Might tried to launch another attack, but again it was met by another counterattack. In the air, a news chopper started broadcasting the events that were unfolding. Back in Hosu, the heroes arrived at the alley where Midoriya, Ida, and Todoroki were. They found the hero killer was badly beaten, but began moving him towards the police station. While moving Stain to the police station, Midoriya saw a TV screen on which he saw the fight occurring. Ida turned to him and asked, "Aren't you coming, Midoriya?" Midoriya didn't answer, simply looking at the screen with a worried look on his face. Back at the bridge, All Might was starting to get worn down. It was at this point, All For One then said,
"Izuku Midoriya, a quirkless child who upon finishing middle school suddenly manifested a quirk. Your successor."
All Might still wore a smile on his face, but on the inside, he found himself being very worried. All for One continued speaking.
Tamura Shigaraki, my successor, the grandson of Nana,
All for One paused for a moment.
Nana Shimura.
All Might's expression changed as he heard this, to a very worried one. All for One laughed as he saw this.
Finally, something that takes that stupid smile off your face. I was thinking, what is the one thing that would hurt you the most? And when I found the child, I realized I could teach him to hate you, to hate the society you created. He has my power, and will become the next me.
All Might got enraged at this and attacked All for One, who easily evaded and hit All Might. He said,
Your power has weakened, All Might. I know this, and you do too. I even got confirmation of this at the USJ. Our last fight left you more damage than anyone thought, and you have also passed down one for all. You have no power left, All Might. There is no way you can keep them safe anymore.
Tsukauchi got up from the wreckage and screamed, You can do it, All Might! Other people and heroes got up as well and cheered All Might on. Across the country, even the planet, people watched the fight on the news, cheering All Might on. Even Midoriya, Ida, and Todoroki watching from Hosu are screaming and cheering for All Might. All Might was inspired by this, and summoned all of his strength, and all the power of One for All left his system throwing said punch. All for One counterattacked, but at the moment that their fists made contact, All Might switched the power from one arm to the other, sacrificing his arm. All Might screamed, United States of Smash! Hitting All for One right in the face, throwing him to the bottom of the ocean. The massive wind pressure created by the smash destabilized the helicopter, forcing them to land in the city. In his mind, All Might said, Goodbye, One for All. The smash that All Might threw was so powerful, the bridge began to crumble and fall apart. All for One was now at the bottom of the ocean, with pieces of rubble from the bridge falling on him. As the bridge began to crumble, All Might jumped to the side of it, landing safely in the water. He began moving towards the shore. When All Might arrived on shore, a reporter asked, All Might, any comments? All Might turned to the camera, saying, Next, it's your turn. Back in Hosu, the Nomu who were not defeated simply disappeared into portals. The day had been saved. As All Might's message was broadcast to the world, everyone began cheering. Ida and Todoroki looked at Midoriya, who was crying. They asked him if he was all right. Midoriya thought to himself, I have to be strong, like All Might. Midoriya wiped the tears from his eyes and turned to his friends, saying, Yeah, I'm fine. Let's go back to the people responsible for this. The next day, All Might was on the news, announcing his official retirement. This led to Endeavor getting the #1 hero spot. Todoroki, Ida, and Midoriya found themselves in the hospital. They all had very minor injuries, but were taken there as a precaution. While they were there, the chief of police of Hosu came into the room. He scolded the young heroes, but afterwards congratulated them for a job well done, telling them, You have disregarded every single rule and should be arrested. But due to All Might's retirement and the fact you have defeated a very dangerous criminal that not even the pros could defeat, we'll be covering up the story. No one will know it was you who defeated Stain. That means you will get none of the credit, but also none of the repercussions. Even so, I don't think that many people might be interested, since All Might's retirement is the most important thing on the news. That said, I would like to thank you all for a job well done. Ida said, Well, actually it was Midori who did all the work. I was looking for revenge for my brother. And Todoroki added, And I arrived after the fight was over. And that's our video for the day, so thank you all for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it. Before we go, there's a little bit of housekeeping I'd like to go over with you. First, We the Celestials has many other channels for your entertainment and viewing pleasures. All the information you'll need is right below in the description. So please, feel free to check out all the other incredible content our team creates. Second, on behalf of We the Celestials, I want to thank everyone who was involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. But that's it for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have an amazing day. And as always, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and stay awesome. This has been Tim. Mustache out.